Welcome to Sculpted Serenity, a vision of home where warmth, stillness, and elegance intertwine. In a world driven by overstimulation and constant noise, this architectural retreat offers a silent revolution, a space where luxury is measured not by abundance, but by presence, precision, and peace. This is not just a house, it's a feeling. Warm minimalism is often misunderstood as stark or sterile, but here every element is chosen with care, creating depth without clutter, emotion without excess. This retreat champions restraint as a form of refinement, where every line, light, and material serves both purpose and poetry. Nestled gently into a sloped landscape, the home appears sculpted from the earth itself. Its low profile respects the terrain, while large openings invite the surrounding nature indoors. The architecture listens to the land. It doesn't impose, it harmonizes, becoming an extension of the natural environment. Natural stone, matte plaster, brushed oak, and linen, materials chosen not just for aesthetics but for their sensory appeal. These surfaces breathe warmth and texture into the space. Imperfect, tactile, and timeless, they add a quiet richness that synthetic finishes could never achieve. At the heart of the home lies a double-height living space, anchored by a minimalist fireplace. Soft furnishings and muted tones create intimacy without excess. This central hub is where solitude and togetherness coexist, embodying the very essence of sculpted serenity. Large frameless windows frame the daylight like artwork. Here, light is not just functional, it's architectural. Throughout the day, it dances across walls, filtering through linen curtains, reflecting off pale stone, creating a living, breathing atmosphere that shifts with time. The layout is open but never overwhelming. Rooms flow effortlessly into one another through wide corridors and sliding panels. Boundaries dissolve, living becomes fluid. Every transition is smooth, guided by light, material, and subtle shifts in ceiling height or floor texture. Soft grays, warm whites, caramel woods, and ochre accents form a palette that is both calming and grounding. These hues encourage a meditative state of mind, allowing the architecture to fall away and the inhabitant to simply feel safe, held, and at ease. The kitchen blends seamlessly into the design. Cabinetry flush with walls, hardware almost invisible, yet craftsmanship unmistakable. It's a place where everyday rituals are elevated. Hidden storage and warm lighting make it functional without disrupting the home's tranquil rhythm. The dining area sits beside expansive glass, connecting meals to nature. A single sculptural table, paired with organic textured chairs, anchors the space. This isn't just a place to eat. It's a sanctuary for conversation, mindfulness, and communion. Bedrooms are intentionally sparse, yet deeply comforting. Custom low beds, built-in lighting, and curated textiles create a cocoon-like environment. These rooms aren't just for rest, they are retreats within a retreat, each designed to reset the body and calm the mind. Here, minimalism feels indulgent, with soft wool rugs, hand-thrown ceramic accents, and uninterrupted views of a private courtyard. This space invites the senses to slow down. The en-suite bath echoes a spa, open, serene, and flooded with filtered light. Stone basins, wall-mounted brass fixtures, and uninterrupted slabs of natural materials define the bathroom. There's no visual noise, just tranquility. It's a space for ritual, where every morning begins and every evening unwinds in an atmosphere of pure serenity. Most furniture is built-in and custom. Benches that grow from walls, shelving that blends into architecture. These aren't just design features. They eliminate visual clutter, anchor the space, and contribute to the retreat's sculptural identity. Courtyards, terraces, and garden paths are designed as continuations of indoor spaces. There's no hard division, just a rhythm of openness and intimacy. Outdoor materials echo indoor tones, creating a unified experience that's immersive and calming. A linear reflecting pool traces one edge of the home, catching sunlight and moonlight alike. Subtle sounds of moving water add a natural rhythm to daily life. Always present, never overwhelming. It's luxury you feel in your chest, not just your eyes. Windows aren't just placed, they're composed. Every opening is intentional, framing moments of sky, trees, or stone. These views become living art, evolving through the seasons, grounding the inhabitants in a dialogue between structure and nature. This home doesn't flaunt its green credentials, it lives them. Passive design, natural ventilation, thermally efficient materials, and local sourcing all contribute to a smaller footprint. Sustainability here isn't an afterthought, it's embedded in the DNA of the design. There is a profound hush in this home. Acoustic treatments, thoughtful material choices, and layout decisions all conspire to create silence. Not emptiness, but resonance. It's a home that protects you from the world's noise, and sometimes your own. Technology is present but invisible. Controlled lighting, automated blinds, and radiant floors all operate in silence. The goal is not to flaunt gadgets, but to elevate the experience of living. Tech should support serenity, not steal attention. Every void is as important as the volume. Negative space allows the home to breathe. It gives room for light, for emotion, for thought. Here, less is truly more, not as a trend, but as a deep architectural truth. Handmade elements, plaster finishes, bespoke carpentry, artisanal ceramics, ground the home in human touch. They bring soul to the minimalist language. Every imperfection tells a story. Every surface speaks of intention and care. As night falls, the home takes on a new identity. Soft lighting glows from concealed fixtures, firelight flickers in the hearth, and the tactile materials come alive. Warm minimalism thrives in low light, inviting, comforting, never cold. This retreat does not hang much art on the walls. Instead, it is the art. The shadow line of a wall, the curve of a bench, the texture of a floor, they become compositions in themselves. Beauty is built in, not applied. More than style or function, this home was designed to evoke emotion, peace, presence, belonging. It's not about what you see, it's about what you sense. Every space is a gesture of care, a moment of pause, an invitation to be. This house wasn't built for today, it was built for always. Materials will patina, the garden will grow wild, and the memories made within its walls will become part of its character. It is architecture that matures with you beautifully. This isn't minimalism borrowed from trend. It's grounded in global traditions: Japanese wabi-sabi, Scandinavian hygge, Mediterranean restraint. It's a convergence of cultures, refined into a lifestyle that values what matters and lets go of what doesn't. True luxury isn't flashy, it's freeing. It's the luxury of space, time, silence, and attention. Sculpted Serenity is a home that redefines luxury as presence. It's about how a space makes you feel, not what it proves to others. In the end, Sculpted Serenity is more than design. It's a philosophy of life. It shows us that architecture can be warm without being loud, luxurious without being excessive, and minimalist without being cold. It's a home that breathes with you, a space that holds you, a sanctuary made of stillness.